You see, Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I pay homage to my teacher, Dr. Swami Mercy. Sadhu, sadhu. In this evening we are going to discuss a sutta from Numerical Discourses. A sutta from the section of Sixes, Saccakka Nipata. So, in this moment we have obtained that rare human life, and the Dhamma, which is well proclaimed by the Blessed One, and again we must pay our attention the most important thing is we must consider again and again that how can we achieve the greatest assurance in this human life, because we must try to understand this danger in this human life. According to Buddha's teaching, though we don't do unwholesome things in this human life, or though we haven't been doing unwholesome things in this human life, but there is a question. According to knowledge of Supreme Buddha, our great teacher understood here in this life we are not just born, and there is a long story behind our life. So when we have been wandering in this samsara, Supreme Buddha understood, though we haven't done unwholesome things in this very life, there may be evil deeds, unwholesome things which were done by us in past lives. Can you understand? So then there is a danger. If we only think about this life, then if we come to a conclusion, okay, in this life I am a good person, I am a good man, I am a good woman, I help to others, and I practice generosity, I do not do harmful things to others. Thinking in this way, it is not good to come to a conclusion that there is assurance to my life. Can you understand? Is it clear? Yes. So, how to escape from this danger? We can't notice or we can't identify, we can't see the accumulation of karma in our life. There may be bad karma in the depth of our heart, which will lead to give the rebirth in a bad destination, in a lower world. But we can't understand, we can't identify those karmas. That ability to see the accumulating of karma is only, that ability is with our great teacher, Supreme Buddha. But we are very lucky. The thing is, though the Blessed One is not with us today, in this Dhamma, Supreme Buddha explained there is a way to eradicate those unwholesome karma. And there is a way to get an assurance to this life, not to be reborn in a lower world. That assurance means one and only assurance in this life. So again and again we must pay our attention to have that assurance in this life. Can you understand? Because without establishing the key factors according to this Dhamma, without establishing clearly those factors in our life, it is not good to come to a conclusion, okay, now I am okay, I have escaped from the world. It's not good to come to a conclusion, to such a conclusion. The reason is, when we live normally, then we think, oh, now I learn Dhamma, I associate with noble friends, I listen to Dhamma, then you will think, I have confidence, and I know this Dhamma. Though you think in this way, when you face to some situations or problems, then you will have to take decisions. Okay? When you deal with other persons in this society, when you are going to take decisions in those occasions, then you will be able to identify, oh, now still my life is not established in this Dhamma. Can you understand what I am explaining? Without facing for such situations, it is not good to come to a conclusion saying I am okay. Because most of the people, when they listen to Dhamma, when they learn Dhamma, they are seen to be very knowledgeable and very agreeable to this Dhamma and eager to this Dhamma. But when the situations come in their life, then sometimes some people, they blame to this Dhamma. And they take the other side and then they disparage to this Dhamma and Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Can you understand? Can you understand what I am explaining? So it's not easy to understand the nature of this mind. So again and again I want to say you, we must check our mind. What about my confidence? What about my pleasant mind regarding the knowledge of Buddha? What about my precepts? What about my mindfulness? In this sense. And there is one and only way to escape from that danger. But we have a limited time period. When we abandon this life with the breakup of this body, at the death of our life in this life, then we will abandon all the opportunities. We will have to abandon the association of noble friends, opportunity to listen to Dhamma. We will have to abandon the opportunity to develop mindfulness, opportunity to develop effort, opportunity to develop wisdom. We will have to abandon all these opportunities. So we have a limited time period, and the time is passing very quickly. Our lifespan is that lifespan will come to an end very quickly. Can you understand? So again and again we must investigate the nature of our mind. Where are you? Where are you? One and only way to make a framework to this life, that way is understanding Four Noble Truths as possible as we can. According to their own wisdom, individually, wise persons, they will understand this Dhamma. But this totally is a private thing. No one can identify others' development. Can you understand? And no one can help to others to escape from bad words and to escape from suffering. Because this Dhamma is Achattam Miritabbo Vinyohi. This Dhamma should be understood individually. Can you understand? According to their wisdom. So it's very important to get uses from this opportunity and to have an assurance. That assurance should be unshakable one. But it's not easy. Today, the name of the sutta is, now before going to the sutta, I like to remember that key factor. First of all, there should be that factor when you listen to this Dhamma. What is that factor? Pleasant mind about the knowledge of Supreme Buddha. The name of the sutta is Inner Sutta. Have you heard? In Sinhala, in Pali, Inner Sutta. In English, taking loan. Have you taken mortgage? So this sutta will be familiar with you. Okay? But this is the knowledge of Supreme Buddha about taking loan, taking mortgage. This is not the knowledge about an ordinary person. This is the knowledge of the greatest teacher in the world. Okay, let's see about that knowledge of taking loan. On that occasion, the Blessed One was staying at Savatthi, and Supreme Buddha asked a question. Dalidyam bhikkave dukkham lokasmin kama bhoginoti. Do you know the word kama? Kama bhogi. Kama means sensual pleasures. Kama bhogi means the person who enjoys with sensual pleasures. There is a person, especially a householder, then he likes to enjoy this life with sensual pleasures. What's the meaning of sensual pleasure? By earning money, by growing up children, by collecting money, by spending money, by going on trips, by going hunting, going fishing, by going to parties. This is the way of enjoying it, sensual pleasures. So the question is, but that person, he likes to enjoy his sensual pleasures. If somebody wants to enjoy his sensual pleasures, there should be the essential factors in his life. That means there should be enough money, can you understand? And enough facilities to enjoy. So the question is, the Supreme Buddha asked, "O monks, Bhikkhave, what do you think about this one? Isn't poverty suffering for a person who likes to enjoy with sensual pleasures? Isn't poverty suffering?" Evam Bhante. Then the monks replied, "Yes, Venerable Sir, yes Bhante. Poverty is suffering for that person. Why? As a poor person, he will not be able to enjoy with these sensual pleasures. Then Blessed One asks the second question. Now when you listen about that person, as a householder, he likes to enjoy his sensual pleasures. All the human beings, they are like this person. Can you understand? They are in the same situation, same condition. So you think about, oh, this story is about my life. Okay? Then the second question is, now he is a poor person. He hasn't enough money, enough food, enough clothes to enjoy. He is a poor person. Though he is poor, he wants to enjoy with sensual pleasures. Can you understand? Then he can see others' lives. Oh, they live very happily. They go by cars. They go on trips. They enjoy with their children. Oh, but I haven't enough money. But he wants to enjoy. So then, what does he do? He takes a loan. Okay? He takes a mortgage takes mortgage. But when you listen this, what is the proper word? Mortgage or loan? Loan, okay? Because I came to know that in this country, in Sri Lanka, when we consider about the situation in Sri Lanka, when people take a loan, it's a danger, okay? It's very, it's a suffering. But in this country, when we consider about mortgage, the people they say taking mortgage is a what do you call investment. It's a proud thing. You must take a mortgage. I came to know that one. So I think so. In this way, it's good to use that word loan. Okay? Because this is the world of ordinary beings.
Here they encourage people to take loans.
Yes, that's the thing. They encourage. They propagate. Okay, it's very better way to take mortgage. But here is another situation. Okay. Now that person is poor. Now he thinks to take a loan. So then the question is, isn't that taking a loan suffering for that poor person? Evam Manti. Yes, Manti. Then again, Blessed One asks, from monks, now he takes a loan, but not from friends, not from his mother, not from his father. He takes a loan from a company or bank or any other financial institution, yes. So now he has to pay back not only the money he took, but with interest. Okay. Now Blessed One explained, now interest is accumulated. Okay. The question is, accumulating interest, isn't accumulating interest suffering for that poor person? Yes. When the interest is accumulating, at the same time, his suffering also increasing. And he said, oh, I took a loan, now it's so much, and now interest is increasing. Now I will have to pay such amount. Then he will think. Again, Blessed One questions, but keep in your mind, he is a very poor person. Okay? Having been poor, now he has taken a loan. Okay? Now interest is accumulated. Okay? Now, but he can't pay his money or interest. Now, but those people who gave that loan, they haven't compassion. Because it's their money and it's their duty, it's their job. Then that person, he couldn't repay his money or interest. Then that financial institution or bank or those persons who gave that loan, then they ask. Again and again they remind, they ask from that person, why don't you pay back this? Now your interest is such amount and you have to pay this amount. Why don't you pay? Now you are too late. Okay? Then again and again they charge and they send the notice. Again and again they send notices. Okay, pay. Why don't you pay? But he can't pay. Then Supreme Buddha asks, isn't sending a notice or isn't sending that notice asking to repay, isn't that suffering for that poor person? Evam Bhante. Yes, Bhante. Though they charge again and again, that poor person he can't pay. Now what do they do? Now that poor person, he wants to escape from this struggle, this problem. Okay? Now he thinks to hide. Okay? Then he runs here and there, and now he is very in a dangerous situation. He is very upset. Okay? Now he thinks to hide. Now those people, that bank, okay? Now those people, they are following that person. They are finding that person. We will not allow him to hide. We want that person. Then they find everywhere that person. Then Blessed One asks, in this country they inform to the credit authority. Yes. Now the problem is
collection agents.
Yes. That now the problem is in a very, very dangerous situation. Now those people, they find that person and they follow that person. Then the person, Blessed One asks, following that person or finding that person, isn't finding that person suffering for that poor person? Evam Bhante. Then the monks reply, yes, Bhante. Anyway, now though that poor person wants to hide, wants to escape from this struggle, but he couldn't escape. So that credit authority then comes to that person and they catch that person. And then he is sent to prison. Okay? Then Supreme Buddha asks, bondage or that sending him to prison, isn't that bondage, suffering for that poor person? Yes, Bhante. Then the monks replied. In this way, monks, itiko bhikkhave dalityampi dukkham lokasmin kama bhogino. In this world, poverty is suffering for the person who likes to enjoy with sensual pleasures. Inadanampi dukkham lokasmi kama bhogino. Not only poverty, taking loan is suffering in this world. Then increasing of interest is suffering in this world to that poor person who likes to enjoy sensuality. Then charging is suffering in this world. Following is suffering in this world, asking to repay that money and interest. Then bondage, sending to prison is suffering in this world. Evameva ko bhikkhave. In the same way, monks, in the same way, in this Dhamma, there is a very, very poor person. Now this story of poor person is about this society. Okay? Now, Supreme Buddha explains the poverty in this Dhamma, according to this Dhamma. Is it clear? In the same way, monks, If a person hasn't the confidence or pleasant mind about this Dhamma, he is very, very poor. Saddha, confidence or pleasant mind. Hiri, if a person hasn't shame, he is very, very poor in this Dhamma. Ottappa, if a person hasn't fear in this Dhamma, he is very, very poor. Virya, if a person hasn't effort in this Dhamma, he is very, very poor. Panya, yes, if a person hasn't wisdom in this Dhamma, he is very, very, is a poor person in this Dhamma. This is the poverty in this Dhamma. What are those factors? Saddha, Siri, Ottappa, Viriya, Panya. 5 factors. Saddha means confidence. Siri means shame. Ottappa means fear. Virya means effort. Panya means wisdom. If a person hasn't these 5 factors in his life, he is a poor person. In this way, if we consider about the situation in this world, most of the people are poor. Because according to the knowledge of Buddha, the understood, we cannot measure others' development or richness by looking their money, by looking the way they spend money, by looking their vehicles, by looking at their houses, by looking their positions, by looking their jobs, by looking their clothes. No one can measure the development of their mind. Now can you understand the poverty of this Dhamma? So, now if you can consider, if you can turn to your life, then you will be able to understand about your situation. Am I poor or rich? If you have confidence, then you can think, I am rich from that factor. Okay? And shame, fear, effort, and wisdom. Here, confidence means, the pleasant mind means, there should be a clear knowledge about the knowledge of the Supreme Buddha. By listening to this Dhamma. As we know, there should be clear understanding about the arahantship of Buddha. Buddha is a teacher who eradicated all defilements in his mind, passion, hatred, delusion, and all defilements. There should be a clear understanding. How can you achieve that pleasant mind about that quality? By reading or by listening this Dhamma. When you listen to this Dhamma, then you will understand, without eradicating these defilements, no one can teach like this. Then you will come to that confidence. Okay? Then Samma Sambuddha. First quality is Arahant. Then Samma Sambuddha. There should be a clear understanding about the enlightenment of Buddha. Supreme Buddha appeared in this world by understanding Four Noble Truths without anyone help. This is the knowledge. Then about his extraordinary powers, knowledge, the knowledge about past life, knowledge about passing away and rebirth of beings. And that's why Buddha explains, okay, you have to control your body, your speech and your mind, otherwise you will be reborn among animals. Because of that knowledge, he explains these things. Then about his excellent virtue, concentration, wisdom, mindfulness and these things. They have to be a clear understanding. Then Sugata. Sugata means discovering the pleasant path in this world. What is that path? Noble Eightfold Path. Discovering the Noble Eightfold Path, following the Noble Eightfold Path, achieve Nibbana, real happiness. This is that understanding, Sugata quality. Lokavidu. There are no secrets about worlds to Buddha. Supreme Buddha understood all worlds. 2500 years ago, nothing is to discover today. Okay? Then Anuttara Purishdhamma Sarathi. Supreme Buddha is the teacher who tames people with compassion, and by teaching this Dhamma, he tames people. And he is the teacher of gods and humans. And without holding back, he proclaimed all Dhamma to understand others. Buddha, Blessed One, Supreme Buddha is the one and only teacher to fit to all these all qualities. In this way, there should be that pleasant mind. Then Hiri means shame. He has the shame. He is ashamed to do what? Here, what is the meaning of shame? He is ashamed to do bad things by his body. He is ashamed to kill beings. Is it clear? He is ashamed to steal. He is ashamed to engage in sexual misconduct. The person is ashamed to say lies, and he is ashamed to take intoxicants. So if someone hasn't that shame, the meaning is, yes, he doesn't care about these things. He hasn't that shame. And he has an ottappa. He hasn't fear. He is not afraid to do wrong things, unwholesome things by body, speech and mind. He hasn't the fear to steal, fear to engage in sexual misconduct, fear to cheat others, fear to kill, and fear to break the friendships of others. He hasn't that fear. You keep in your mind very clearly, by body there are three misconducts. First one is killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. By speech there are four. First one is lying, malicious speech, half speech and gossip. Okay? By mind there are three misconduct ways. Greed, hatred or ill will, and wrong view. It is from mind. Okay? So that person has some fear to be greedy to others' properties, about others' properties. And he hasn't the fear to get angry. Can you understand? And he hasn't the fear to hold wrong view. He thinks to enjoy the wrong view, holding the wrong view. And he thinks, if I abandon this wrong view, then I will have to control my bodily actions, verbal action and mental action. So it's good to hold this wrong view. There are such people. That's why they do not give up that they are wrong view. They know the danger of holding wrong view, but they don't like to give up that one. The reason is they enjoy with that wrong view. This is the reason. They enjoy with that identity view by holding wrong view. About future birth, they enjoy with future birth. That's why they do not like to give up that wrong view. They want to be reborn again to enjoy. This is the secret behind this identity view. Now this is the poverty in this Dhamma. Is it clear? Then Blessed One explains, having no confidence and shame, fear, and then virya means effort to what? Effort to run, effort to earn money, effort to what? Effort to akusalanam dhammanam pahanaya. Effort to eradicate unwholesome things. Kusalanam dhammanam upasampadaya. Effort to develop wholesome things. Unwholesome things means effort to control his body, speech and mind. Always he investigates about his wrong activities and he makes effort to control those things. Okay? And his mind is restless. And there is the concentration, unification of his mind. It is an unwholesome thing. Then he makes effort to concentrate his mind. And what is the meaning here? Cultivating wholesome things means he investigates his life. Oh, I must develop this precept further. I must develop this one. And there are some misleading points in this precept, so I must develop this precept. And then he thinks, I haven't achieved the concentration, so I must develop concentration. And I haven't achieved wisdom, so I must develop my wisdom. So here, the effort to cultivate wholesome things means effort to develop morality, virtue, concentration, wisdom, and the effort to understand Four Noble Truths. This is the effort. Is it clear? Then Panya means, yes, wisdom. Wisdom means that person, that poor person in this Dhamma, he hasn't the knowledge about impermanence. He doesn't know about impermanence. Wisdom means knowledge about Four Noble Truths. Here, there are so many discourses. Buddha explains wisdom means knowledge about impermanence. Understanding Four Noble Truths means understanding the impermanent nature of this world and the craving to those things and abandoning the craving to impermanent things by following Noble Eightfold Path. Simply, this is the meaning of Four Noble Truths. That's why Buddha explains in that way. This is the poverty. Now having no confidence, no fear, no shame, and no effort and no wisdom. Now what does he do? He takes a loan. Now he is poor, now he takes a loan. He having the lack of these qualities, without having these qualities in his life. Now, kayena duccharitam charati. Now he does bad things by body. Vachaya duccharitam charati. He speaks bad things. Manasa duccharitam charati. Then he thinks bad thoughts by his mind. Idamas inadanosmin vadami. This is the taking of loan. Is it clear? Without having those confidence, shame, fear, effort and wisdom, now he is a poor person. As a poor person now, he uses his body to kill. Because he hasn't shame and fear to do those things, so he uses his body to kill, steal, and he engages sexual misconduct, cheats others without shame and fear. And he hasn't an effort to escape from those bad things, so he does those bad things. Is it clear? This is the talking of a loan. It's not a simple loan. There is the accumulating of interest. The interest means having done bad things by body, having spoken bad things by speech, having thought bad things by mind, then he thinks in this way. He thinks to cover his bad things. Mamam janyati ichchati. He thinks, there is a desire in his mind, may others not know me. Can you understand? Yes, may others not know about me that I kill beings, I steal, and he wants to cover, he wants to hide to the society. And secretly, he goes here and there and he divides the friendships of others and he thinks, may others not know about me. Is it clear? And then he cheats people thinking, may others not know me. May others not know about my unwholesome things. Idamasa vadhya vadami. Monks, this is the increasing of interest. Do you know people in such situations? Yes, they like to show a different face to the society, but inside of their life they do a lot of bad things. Yes, and they think, oh, others may not know about me in my real situation. Then they want to hide the real face, actual face. They come to the presence of society by smiling, laughing, thinking, may others not know about me. This is the interest. Then, Now he is a poor person and he took a loan, and now there is the accumulating of interest. Now can he repay? No, he can't repay. Now the credit authority follows that person. Before following, they charge. They send a notice. The notice means when he goes to a town, or when he goes to a party, when he goes to a middle of a community, okay, when he goes to the middle of family members, then others, they talk each other, they talk in this way. Do you know that person? Now he comes to the presence of us by laughing and smiling, but that person has done such things. Now he has stolen, and he engages sexual misconduct. His habit is cheating others. In this way they talk each other. Then that person that also are there. When others are talking, now he listen to that one. Then he remember himself. Oh, I am such a person. The others, they are talking another person. At the same time, that person, he reminds himself about his life. Oh, I am such a person. I did that one. But I wanted to hide that one. The others, they talk. Do you know about that person? That person, now he shows to the society that he lives very peacefully with his family members. But do you know about his character? In this way they talk. When he hears, then he thinks about his life. Oh, I have those qualities. Idamasa chodana vadami. This is the charging. Sending the notice. Okay. Then Supreme Buddha explains, now they send the notice, but he can't pay back. Now what did he do? That poor person, he ran away and he wanted to hide. But the bank, that credit authority, they find that person and they follow that person. Then the Blessed One explains, now when that person, can you remember now about his poverty? He hasn't considered shame, fear, effort and wisdom. Without having these factors, then he took a loan. He engaged by bodily misconduct, verbal misconduct and mental misconduct. Then there was a desire. By doing those things, what was the desire? May others not know about me. Then the interest is accumulated. Then there was a notice. Then others were talking about other person's bad qualities. Then he reminded himself. Now that person, Blessed One explains, when he goes into a calm place, in a secluded place, when he goes into his room to sleep, when he goes to bed, now Vippatisara Sagata Papaka Akusala Vitakka Samudacharanti. Now all the memory comes to his mind. Can you understand? Then Supreme explains, now he thinks, oh, I did that one. I told that one. I did that one to that person. Though he did those things secretly, nothing can be hidden through his mind. Everything is stored in his mind. Now it's come out. All things, okay? Monks, bhikkhave, this is the following. This is the charging. Now the unwholesome thoughts follow that person. You did this one, you did this one. You told that one to that person. You broke the friendship of those persons. And in this way. And he laughs and he enjoys with others, but secretly he thinks, oh, I will do that person. I will get revenge. In this way he thinks. But he doesn't show to the society. But when he is alone, his mind will blame to that person. There is a simile to this situation in the teaching of Buddha. Do you know about this situation? There is a large building, okay? Now, there is a person sitting in front of that building on a chair. When the sun is setting, what will happen? From that shadow, the next side of that building will be covered from that shadow. At the same time, that shadow will envelop that person who is sitting in front of that building. Can you understand? From that shadow. Then the Blessed One explains, in this way, when he is alone, when he goes to sleep, when he goes to his room, all the unwholesome things, yes, he did, all things will come and will envelop him, will catch him in that way. Now think about this one. The people, they come to the society laughing and joking and those things, but we don't know the situation when they are alone. When they are alone, no one can escape, because they have to live with their own mind. Can you understand? This is the reason to be reborn in bad world. That's why Supreme Buddha understood most of the people after their death, they are reborn in bad world. But others cannot see this one. They will only see on the outer appearance and their prosperity and luxury life. Yes. Okay. Think about the investigation of life did by the Blessed One. Having thought after following of that band, then at the end, what happened? They catch that person. They caught that person and he was sent to prison. Then Buddha explains, having done bad things by his body, speech and mind, kaya sabheda, at the dissolution of body, paramarana. After death, nirebandhaneva bhajyati. Then he will have to bind with that bondage by taking the birth in hell. What is the meaning of this one? That person will have to be reborn in hell. Who takes that person to hell? His own karma. His own karma. This is the doctrine in this world. The doctrine of karma. Tirachana yoni bandhaneva. He will have to be reborn among animals. Here, this is the fate of that poor person. Because of his poverty, yes, in the Dhamma he wanted to, he didn't want to understand this life. The most important thing is the basic reason to this situation, this condition is lack of knowledge about this Dhamma. Here Blessed One explains at the end of this discourse very important thing. Naham bhikkhave anyam eka dhammapi samunupassami. Evam darunam, evam khatukam, evam antarayakaram. Anuttarasya yogakhemas adhigamaya. Oh monks, I don't see I can imagine no one other bond or other bondage, other fetter, which is very dangerous, obstructive, very painful, that which the birth in the Yathaidam bhikkhave nire bandhanam tirachana yoni bandhanam, birth in hell or animal world. The meaning is, if someone has to be reborn in such a world, that person will not be able to get an opportunity easily to understand this Dhamma, Four Noble Truths, and to escape from suffering. Again and again, those beings will have to be reborn among animals and among beings in hell. It's very rare to obtain a human life. Evam darunam, it's very dangerous. Evam khatukam, very painful to birth in hell and animal world. So from this discourse, now it's very clear, according to the teachings of Buddha, the real meaning of poverty. In this Dhamma, what is the meaning of poverty? Lack of confidence, shame to do unwholesome things, fear to do unwholesome things, effort and wisdom. Okay? This is the poverty. But in this human life, we must think to be rich by establishing pleasant mind about the knowledge of Buddha, and by having shame to do unwholesome things, and by having fear to do unwholesome things, and developing effort to cultivate good things, wholesome things, to eradicate bad things. And we must try to develop our wisdom, the knowledge about Four Noble Truths. So you have been learning so many things about Four Noble Truths in past lectures. So now you can balance all these things. Balancing means you can investigate now. You can check now about your life. You can reflect about your life. And if you have abstained from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, malicious speech, harsh speech, gossip, and then if your mind is ready to practice generosity, and if your mind is ready to spread loving kindness thoughts to all beings without anger, and if you have established the right view in your life by believing this karma and effect, and by understanding the nature of existence, by understanding the nature of arranging the suffering in this life as noble truth, the knowledge of dependent origination, all these things are called wisdom. And if you have the knowledge to face impermanent situations by understanding the real nature of those situations, then you have wisdom. Then you can think, oh, I am a rich person in this Dhamma. And if you can control your unwholesome things, then you will not have to take loan. Can you understand? But anyway, you try to control the taking of mortgage, okay? Because actually, as noble disciples, we must try to be simple
Content.
by managing taking mortgage and those things. Because according to Buddha's teachings, can you remember that day we learned that Sutta, Anana Sutta? In that Sutta, Buddha explains that as a householder, time to time they must achieve that sukha, that joy and rapture by thinking that I am a debtless person. Yes. But in this country it's very rarely that joy will be present. But anyway, as noble disciples, do you know that basically there are two ways of leading their life. First one is called, according to Buddha's teachings, Anusotagami. You don't know about that one? Yes, Anusotagami means normally all human beings, they only want to enjoy with sensual pleasures. Anusotagami means a person, he also wants to enjoy with sensual pleasures, and he doesn't want to develop his mind and develop his wisdom, and he doesn't want to think to escape from suffering and samsara. There isn't such a story in his life. That person is called Anusotagami, means the person who goes among the stream. Can you understand? With the stream. But this is this is the ordinary situation. And in this journey, at the destination, there will be hell. In this running, Anusotagami, animals world. So, it doesn't matter we live in Canada or America or anywhere. This Dhamma is not to run with run among those Anusotagami people. This Dhamma is to go against with the stream. That's called Patisotagami. That's why we say, when you look at other people, then you will say, oh, that he has a lot of money and he enjoys and he eats food so much and he spends a lot of money and he buys a car once a week. This is the nature of the ordinary society. But we must think, I am a noble disciple of Buddha. So I must be content with what I have. And my priority is only to understand Four Noble Truths. Just, I want to survive. Can you understand? This is the nature of managing this life as a noble disciple. Otherwise, it's very difficult to follow this Dhamma. It is very easy to be reborn in the lower world, keeping your mind at one. If someone wants to be reborn in the lower world, he can live as he thinks. But this is the difficult one. What is the difficult one? Swimming against the stream. What is something else? Okay? So then, the Blessed One explaining this one. Now, is it clear that situation? Yes, story about that poor person now. So you must think again and again, I want to be a rich person in this Dhamma, and I must learn this Dhamma, and again and again you must listen to Four Noble Truths. Okay? Now can you remember those discourses? Those days we have been discussing very important and powerful discourses. Okay? And these days you think it seems very simple. Okay? But in future again we will be able to listen to those powerful discourses. But anyway, these are not simple discourses. Do you know? Do you think simple? The birth in hell and animals world? It's not simple. So this is the story of the birth in hell and animals world. So when you look the society, you will see a lot of people, according to these teachings, they are very, very poor. They are not rich. But the normal situation that when they consider about Sri Lanka, they will say, oh, Sri Lanka is a very poor country. Okay? But Sri Lanka is not a poor country. It is the richest country in this world. They live on the diamonds. This Dhamma is jewels, like a jewel. Okay? So don't miss this opportunity, please. Control your thoughts, speech and mind. Don't blame to others. Don't blame to noble ones. Be very careful. And you practice especially loving kindness meditation. So when you go to bed, then you'll be able to sleep peacefully and wake up peacefully. Otherwise your mind will catch you. Can you remember that shadow? Yes. That simile? Yes. And you will be able to get the experience. You might have got the experience. Okay. Then the Blessed One comes to the end of this Dhamma. So anyway, in this world, power is called suffering in the world. And taking alone is suffering. And in this way, the charging of others is suffering. And can you remember that evil desire? Having done bad things, he thinks, may others not know about my bad things. He wants to cover, he wants to hide. Okay? So in this way, at the end of this struggle to enjoy with sensual pleasures by harming others, then most of the people will have to be reborn in miserable worlds, painful worlds. So the Blessed One explains, but here one with confidence and shame to do bad things, with the fear to do bad things, effort to cultivate good things and to eradicate bad things, And with the ability to develop wisdom as a rich person in this Dhamma and discipline, then that person, here is very, very interesting. Knowing this situation as it actually is, then by practicing generosity as a householder, by accumulating merit, by association of noble friends, and then by living in ease, then that person, he determines on equanimity, abandoning the five hindrances. Now by developing generosity, by accumulating merit, and by the association of noble friends, by developing meditation, by achieving the unification of mind, now he has virtue and concentration. Now, five hindrances, eradicating five hindrances, the obstacles or hindrances of mind, then entering the jhanas to the high levels of concentration with wisdom, then that noble disciple at the end of this striving, then he will come to the ending of all fetters. These are the stanzas of this at the end of this sutta. And without clinging to anything in this world, his mind is rightly released from all fetters and from sensual desire, ill will, delusion, and from all fetters. Then there is the knowledge in the total ending of the fetters. With this knowledge, then he will understand Sabbasa anupadaya sammachitta vimuchyati. Without clinging to anything in this world, then he will understand akuppame cheto vimutti. The release of my mind is unshakable. Etanko paramam jnana. This is the supreme knowledge, the ultimate deliverance, the highest knowledge. Etam sukham anantaram. This is the incomparable joy, pleasure in this life. Asokam, faroless, virajam, dustless, khema, fearless. That excellent deliverance, that bliss of Nibbana, that noble disciple will achieve that bliss of Nibbana at the end of this striving of understanding Four Noble Truths. So this is that inner sutta. Can you remember the name of that sutta? Inner. Inner means in Pali, loan. Inner sutta. The discourse about taking loan. So may you have the opportunity to develop that confidence, fear, shame, effort, and wisdom. May you have the opportunity to be a rich person, rich noble disciple in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. May you have the opportunity to escape from all bad words. May you have the opportunity to understand Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. This is the inner sutta. So, is it clear? If you have any questions, you can ask now. Can you understand the difference of the knowledge of an enlightened one? Can you understand the difference? People doesn't know about this poverty. they do not know about this poverty. And they do not, they can't understand about this poverty.
That opportunity to be.
It's like this now. Usually, how many eyes do people have? Two eyes. By looking with these two eyes, all people, they come to a conclusion. Okay, this is the world. This is the world. This is the world. These are the things in this world. But let's suppose if a person were to have another eye, then he has three eyes. By looking those three eyes, then he will say, no, though you say that this is the world, there are in so many things, but those things cannot be seen by these two eyes. But I can see. But the others will say, you are mad. You are mad. How do you say other things? We see only these things. How do you say? But those people, they do not know about the things which can be seen by that third eye. How to call that third eye? Dhamma Chakku, the eye of Dhamma. So, if someone can establish the eye of Dhamma, then they will be able to sing against that is rain as Patisottana. So it is not easy to understand these things by swimming among the rain. This is very, very rare opportunity to escape from this countless journey of samsara with birth and death. Keep in your mind, we have a limited time period, and can you remember at the beginning I mentioned, when we abandon this life, we'll have to abandon all things. No questions? Our Lukswami has done this. Yes, it's very interesting. But in Sri Lanka, when we talk about Lord, it's very suffering. Yes, because so that's why when the Sri Lankans, they listen to these such discourses, then they are very, very eager to know, very interesting. But when we explain to people in this country, they will ask, oh, taking mortgage is a good thing. They will say. But some people, they say the others, they are friends and they encourage to take mortgage.
Sri Lanka, the poor people who cannot go to a financial institution, they have to borrow.
Then they will have to pay big interest.
Very high interest.
How to call Valpoli? Yes, that is the situation in this country. But in Sri Lanka, they offer large lands freely to noble Sangha. Then look, now there are about 35 monasteries in Mahamevuna monastery branches, okay, around Sri Lanka. But a lot of people, they come with their lands because of confidence, having heard this Dhamma. When Lukswami explains, but Lukswami refuses lot of suggestions. offers of taking land, because it is too much, and there are not enough monks to send those monasteries. But anyway, there are about 350 monks now. So, but it's the situation in Sri Lanka. But then, when they offer, then it's okay, then they go home, then the land is there, then monks, they live there, then they live there. But here, it's a lot of problems, totally different. Yes, another thing is, if they don't extend our visa, then we'll have to go back anytime when they tell us.
Yeah, our community.
Then saying okay, then we will have to go. This is the situation. So that's why again and again I want to say you don't miss this opportunity. Okay?
Yeah, I think our community, we have been here probably 2 generations.
Yeah.
So people don't have that accumulated wealth to offer.
And other thing is, this is not a Buddhist country. That is the reason. So they don't know about such things.
They offer
Offering a land, they don't know.
They give the churches probably.
Yes. So
But in America, there are a lot of people.
therefore,
IMS, they have 50 acres of land. Must be more, right?
but anyway, you are lucky, because Lokaswaminatha says, no matter if you in the train, if you can develop mindfulness, it's okay, that place. Okay, so you are lucky anyway. Get the use from today, from the present moment. Okay, and you will be lucky anyway. Okay, so we can say all merit with our Lokaswaminatha. May Lokaswaminatha have the opportunity to escape from suffering in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And we say our merit with all beings. Now I am going to bless you. Abhivadana Silisa Nisammadra Pachayo Sattaro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvanno Sukham Balan Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Atho Nibbana Sampatti Vinate Samidjatu.
Maya katham punyam Swamina anumoditabha Swamina katham punyam Mayandatabha Sadhu sadhu anumodanam Okasudvaratena Katham saddham asyayam Kamatani vanti Okasi kamani vanti Dutiyampi okasi kamani vanti Tatiyampi okasi kamani vanti